Hi guys, Steve from Word of Mouth Reviews. I'm really lucky to be able to speak to Brenna today. She was the most anticipated show for the festival for me this year. So here she is.
Hello.
Thanks for speaking to us.
My pleasure, thank you for having me.
I don't know if I should mention this, but we don't know if the camera works. So we're just going to do a quick one. So just to make sure, this might be just the extra you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
We'll do a commentary track on it later on. Tell us a little bit about the show.
Okay, my show is called OCDC. It's finished now. And it's basically the story of me suffering from a very bad case of obsessive compulsive disorder. The show is a narrative, so it's just basically a story from when I first started getting symptoms of OCD, and then sort of it just builds and builds and builds to when I was 16 and I had an extremely bad case, and then from that moment to my recovery. So, yeah,
excellent.
Bit of a journey.
Yes. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the storytelling sort of story, comedic story. That does make sense, but anyway. And this is a great show. It's in my top 3 shows, so it's worth going to see when you do it again. But that's right, when you do Adelaide or whatever, people can fly. It's only like $89 to go to Adelaide, and you can go for a night, buy tickets. We've done that before, believe it or not, and it's not very difficult. You just make it a good weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. So you'll be travelling the show next year?
Next year I'd like to start doing some more festivals outside of Melbourne Comedy Festival.
Cool.
Adelaide, Wild West Comedy, Edinburgh Free Fringe. Obviously I have to be able to afford all these things first.
Sure.
So I have to make some money in the interim, and that will be the major decider.
Yep.
But my intention is to definitely take, well, if not a new show, then definitely this show. But as I was saying to you before, at the bar, not at the footage that we didn't get, I have been approached by a few teachers and psychologists to come and take my show to universities and to high schools, which is great. It's just another audience, and as soon as they found out that I had a message to send, they were like, yep, awesome, we want this. We want our students to be, educated and entertained, and that is synergy that I'm providing.
Yeah, no, it's great to have a sort of, to learn something as well as have a laugh and a bit of a tear and that sort of thing. So it's really good. There's been it's been an unusual festival with discussions between reviewers and comedians, and some people saying that women aren't funny, funny, which I find weird.
It's very disappointing that the publication that's sponsoring the festival is making outlandish statements like that. It's just
to be on their side, not to be on their side because I'm not, but they did correct it straight away. They took it down, removed the offending line, and republished it, which I think was definitely good. That's the minimum they should have done. I would have preferred to have some sort of retraction or something, just so that people knew that this was not the feeling of anybody else other than the person who wrote the piece. It's always the thing with me. I've got lots of female friends. You know a lot of them through this. I never really bring up sex as being an issue with doing anything. I
think the point is, if you're funny, you're funny, and if you're not, you're not.
I totally agree. I mean, I've been stalking Geraldine Quinn, and you guys know that for years. She's awesome. She's in one of my top 3 shows this year. She's got a great show this year. We were at the bar getting a drink, and 2 people overheard us talking, butted in, and said her show was awesome. 2 guys. So it's just got me weird that my top 3 shows that all have women in.
Geraldine Quinn has been working in this industry for a long time, and she has just gotten better and better and better every year. And I feel like sometimes women get judged immediately, and this is also this is a general statement, because I stand by my, if you're funny, funny, if you're not, you're not. But I think that that people allow men sometimes to earn their stripes a little slower than women. If they're not a funny chick, then they're immediately not funny for the rest of their career. But if a guy's not funny, then they'll see him a couple more times.
Next time
then wow, hasn't he improved? I don't know if that's a general, too much of a general statement.
Possibly. I find, and this is one of the arguments I have with reviewers, the more you do something, the more training and practice you do, the better you're going to get at something.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't matter what you are, a carpenter, a newsreader, reviewer, comedian, whatever.
Yeah.
The more you do, the more you practice, the better you're going to get. So that's why a lot of times we see people on the first night, and then we make a point of going back to see them again on the last night. And it's a completely different show. Even when I went to your show, I went on opening night, and it was as strong as the Fringe Festival when I saw you.
Awesome.
And then I went again last night with another friend. We were sitting around talking about it, and she said, well, we've got 10 minutes to get to the show. No worries, no pressure. So we ran down and got in, and you could see the bits that you've changed and worked through. And it was a slightly stronger show. One of my friends mentioned the ahs, which I'm doing a lot of today because I'm a bit nervous. But I just did it again. But I noticed on the second show you're into the flow a lot more. You were. I noticed a couple of times on the first show when you mentioned. Don't worry, I'm when you had forgotten to get something out of the basket, and also when you said, "Oh, I'm not sure if I remember this bit." I'll check. Whereas the second time, you obviously remembered it, or if you didn't, you did the awesome thing in that. I'm just going to go through this basket. I don't need that yet. I've just checked my notes, and if I haven't said anything, I always, because look, I do the same at work. I go, "Ooh, that's a mistake. I shouldn't have done that." But then I told somebody I've made a mistake.
Exactly.
Sort of thing. But
fake it till you make it.
Totally. But I mean, I didn't get any of that from the second show at all. So awesome. But again, top 3 shows. So I mean, there you go.
Pretty good.
It is. It's very good actually. Seeing the Greg Proops is number 4 and Simon Munnery is number 5.
That is good company.
That's not a bad company to be in.
Not a lot of people are aware that, first and foremost, Comedy Festival is so much more than just the gala. Everyone goes, how was the Comedy Festival when they see the gala on television?
TV, yes.
It's so much more than that. And also, comedy exists in Melbourne and in Adelaide and in Perth and in Sydney and everywhere, 5 days a week, at the very least. So find it and go to it and appreciate it.
It's not hard. It's really not hard. You can find really good rooms. We were very lazy last year, but this year we'll be doing probably a monthly podcast, maybe getting down to every 3 weeks, where we'll be going out to see shows. I know Tripod's got a run coming up. Man by God does a gig on Wednesday night, so we'll be going to see that. Spleen has a show, the local.
And can I do an obligatory plug? Every Friday I'm in the Big Hoo Ha, which is an improvised comedy troupe. Originally started in WA, but it's now over to Melbourne. It's fantastic. It's all about being a dag and having fun and improvising. And we're on every Friday at the Portland Hotel at 8. So comedy still exists after Comedy Festival. Come on down and see one of our shows, and you'll have a great night.
And even Trades Hall, the Bella Union, there's got gigs. Your Dragon Crawl, Dr. Watson. There's the stuff all through the year. Definitely get a chance, go out and see something, because I might not look it, but I'm a fairly happy person. I don't get angry a lot, and I don't get sweary and all that sort of stuff.
He's like black on the outside, but
I'm so Melbourne on the inside. Melbourne on the outside. But and I listen to a lot of musical comedy and a lot of stand-up and stuff like that, and very rarely do I have mood swings and that type of thing. So I guess I'm pretty lucky in that respect, but I think comedy has a lot to do with that.